Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lauren. Today I'm going to film my newborn essentials video, which is something I've been wanting to film for months. My baby Ruby is now actually 6 months old. I don't know where that time is going. If you're pregnant and trying to research what things you might need for your baby that are going to be sort of the essentials that you will actually use, hopefully this video will help you out. When it comes to baby things, it's very easy to go overboard. Particularly when you're a first-time parent. These are all things, I'm just looking at all the things I've got around me, that we used almost every single day when she was a newborn. They are either things that are absolute essentials or things that just make your life as a parent so much easier. And when you're sleep deprived, you basically just want things to be as easy as possible. Just remember as well, obviously every baby's different. Everything's going to work a little differently for other people, but these are all things that I would highly recommend to any like friends or family if they were having babies. So yeah, hopefully if you're pregnant, this will help you out. With baby things, I think it sort of fits into kind of 4 categories: feeding, sleeping, changing nappies, and what they're going to wear. I'm going to start out with clothes because I think that's the category that is very easy to go overboard with, getting all excited about the cute little outfits you're going to put your baby in and all of that. And I think that's totally fine for when they're a bit older, but when they're newborns, they're just going to be living in sleep. So it's like, that is all you want to put them in. Firstly, they're mostly sleeping. You want them to just be super comfy. And then secondly, as a parent, you are exhausted. You don't want to be faffing around with like fancy outfits that they're probably just going to mess up anyway. So basically the ones that I would recommend are the Bonds cozy suits. I see a lot of people recommending the Bonds Wonder suits, which are the ones that actually have the zip down the side. And while they're great, I actually really prefer these ones. Firstly, because the Wonder suits, the smallest ones were still too big for Ruby when she was first born. She was 2.88 kilos. And even these ones, which were 4.0s, were huge on her. She soon grew into them, obviously, but when you have the buttons, it just fits them a bit better if they are a little bit too big. These ones particularly as well are great because they've got the little hands that go over them, so you don't have to worry about putting mittens on them or anything like that. And they've also got the buttons, but they're just buttons straight down the side. I'm sure you would have seen a lot of the basic baby sleep suits, which basically have the buttons down the front, but then they go around here as well. And then you have to figure out which button goes where, and it's just too complicated, particularly in the middle of the night when you're exhausted. So these ones were really easy. We only had about 5 of these. We had 2 white ones, a grey one, a navy blue one, and a pink one, because I couldn't resist the pink. And she'll just wash and wear them constantly, and that's pretty much all she lived in. If it's a bit cooler and you need to put them in like a singlet, I would definitely, like under the cozy suit, I would definitely just recommend the just simple ones like this with the little buttons at the bottom. Otherwise, if they don't have the little buttons, they sort of ride up, and I feel like they get really uncomfortable for the babies. I would imagine that they'd be uncomfortable. So that's my recommendation for clothes. I know it's tempting to buy cute outfits. Get them in a bigger size. They can wear them when they're a bit older. Get a bunch of cute bibs. These ones that Stefan came up, they're really just absorbent. Those are my favourite ones because they've got the Velcro, which is easier than like the popper buttons. Little things that you notice that make your life easier. Ruby lived in those cozy suits and in just bibs because they spit out milk everywhere. So I'm going to move on to the sleeping category. Now, obviously you can just swaddle your newborn with a normal swaddle blanket, muslin swaddle blanket, but people have been doing that for years and it obviously works. But we found that it was actually a lot easier to have the sleep bag swaddle things. Swaddle grow bags, that's what these ones are called. There's quite a few different companies that do this. The Love to Dream ones I've heard are really good if you've got a baby who likes sleeping with their arms up. But the ones that we use, these are the Grow Bag company ones. I love them because you kind of have the option of both. So it was firm enough for her to like have her arms all swaddled in nice and tight or down. But also, if you can see here, there was sort of a bit more room around the shoulders. So she would often just get her arms up and sort of sleep like this. And it seemed to work for us. The good thing about these as well is that they do come in different thicknesses. So this is like the cozy one, there's like a lighter one for in summer, and they've also got the buttons so you can just unbutton it and their arms can be free. If you've got a little sleeper who doesn't like having their arms all swaddled in. Also good if you're wanting to transition them, you can just put like one arm out or both arms out if they've started rolling. And Ruby was in these for about almost 4 months, I think. Yeah, that's when we transitioned her just into like the normal sleeping bag because she was getting a little bit too big for them, but they do come in a bunch of different sizes. So I would highly recommend those. Having said that, I would still recommend that you get a bunch of the muslin swaddles because they can just be used for everything. We did swaddle her up in this, like in the hospital, and just for some cute photos, so it is nice to have a few cute patterns. But also you can use them for like the pram covers in the car if you're trying to block out like some of the sun. If you're mopping up milk, putting it on the floor, if you've taken your baby to someone's house and you want to put them on the floor, they just come in so handy. My favourite ones were from Aiden and Anai, I think that's how you say the name, and this is like they've got cute little elephants on them, and they were just really nice big squares as well as just being really super soft. And then I also love the brand Snuggle Honey Kids. They have just the cutest designs. Like this one here is like rainbows, and I've got some floral ones, and this would make a great gift for any mums to be because just treat them to some really cute muslin swaddle blankets. You'll always use these. I'm going to move on to breastfeeding now, and obviously this applies if you're breastfeeding. The Lancino lanolin nipple cream was a lifesaver. I basically use this after every feed for like weeks and weeks, and then you don't have to keep using it. Eventually, you don't need it anymore. But I basically got the small bottle, went through a whole tiny tube, and then sent Tom out to get the big one. So if you are, I don't know if you can see that, if you're planning on breastfeeding, highly recommend this. Have it with you in the hospital and just start using it straight away. It was a lifesaver. Some people really like the Hydrogel breast discs, and these are great. They feel really good. Like they really do help. But my preference would probably be the Lancino ones. If I would say get a pack of each and see which one you like better. The next thing when it comes to breastfeeding is some kind of breastfeeding pillow. Now, this is the Boppy pillow. I used it in the hospital and I used it every single time I fed Ruby for the like 3.5 months. After that, she started getting like a bit big and she didn't fit on this little part. So now I'm just using a normal pillow. But when she was a newborn, this was like a lifesaver because it just sort of lifts them up a little bit, makes it a little bit less hard on your shoulders and your neck. And also, I know it's really kind of bad, but sometimes you do fall asleep when you're feeding. I've tried my best not to, but there have been a couple of times when I have. And so I would always just put this around me, make sure she was really supported and that there was no way for her to like fall off just in case I did doze off. And I think that is, yeah, I highly recommend this. Bring it to the hospital with you. I think you'll definitely get a lot of use out of it. Then it can also be used for when they're trying to do tummy time. You can just sort of lean them up on this, and then yeah, I just highly recommend this. I used it like multiple times a day, every single day for the first few months. Definitely worth it. Some nursing pads. These were the Rite Aid ones from Baby Bunting, and I would definitely recommend just starting out getting the the disposable ones. I just find it easier when they actually stick to your bra and it keeps things a bit more dry. That being said, I would recommend just getting a couple of the reusable ones because obviously it is better for the environment, but it's handy to have on hand if you do run out. These things are sort of mostly for the mum, not so much for baby, but So another thing when it comes to breastfeeding would just be a really comfy nursing bra, or a few of them anyway, because you're obviously going to get quite a bit of milk on them probably. I do some quite pretty ones these days, but really when you're just starting out, just get something comfy, really stretchy around like this area here, and just really soft material, because that is all you're going to want to wear. Oh, Tom's home with Ruby. These ones are from Be Free Australia. And I'm wearing the small size, but I could probably wear the medium too. They are more on the pricey side, but they are really soft and I really like them. The other ones that I've heard are good are the Bonds, like nursing crop tops, which I haven't tried them myself, but Bonds is generally like a really comfortable kind of brand, and I'm probably going to try some of those at some stage later on if I need to replace them, because they'll probably be a bit cheaper than these. I'm sort of just going through like all the things that I would have around me when I was feeding Ruby. So when you're breastfeeding, you get so thirsty, and a good drink bottle that you can drink from with one hand that isn't going to knock over and spill is like an absolute must-have for me. Tom got me this one on the day that we came home from hospital, and my friends always laugh at me because I'm always raving about this drink bottle. Like, it's like my favorite thing ever. One of the best gifts I've ever received. But basically, you just, it's a Camelback one. You just flip up the top, and it's got a little valve, bite valve on it, so it's not going to spill. Yeah. There's not much more to say about it, but just a good drink bottle, and like I would totally recommend this one. Bunch of burp cloths. You can get really cute ones. I've got some cute ones from a brand called Copper Pearl. This one here. But if you're wanting to save a bit of money, just get a whole pack of like nappies, like the old cloth nappies, which you can just get from Baby Bunting and like pretty cheap. They're super absorbent, and you can just use them for like all sorts of different things as well. So that would be my tip. And the last thing when it comes to breastfeeding that I would recommend would be some kind of pump, whether it's like just like a simple like hand pump or an electric pump or something like this, which is the Hucker breast pump. It's kind of handy to just be able to get someone to feed your baby, even for just like one feed while you're having a nap, or if you have to go somewhere for like a short time or whatever. This one is great because you just like stick it onto the other boob while you're breastfeeding, and it catches the drips, because there's usually quite a bit of excess, particularly when you're first starting out feeding, and it is quite handy because you don't have to spend any extra time actually pumping. That being said, I did find this a bit annoying sometimes because it would often like fall off. I don't know if I was just not using it properly. Apparently you're supposed to like bend it down like this, squeeze it, and then attach it on, and it's supposed to suction well, but Ruby would like kick and milk would get spilled. Going back, I would probably just get a simple like hand pump. One of the mums in my mother's group recommended the Medalla one, which is apparently just like $35, and I think that would just be a really handy, easy one to use. I have like a Tommy Tippy electric one, which it's fine, it does the job, I don't love it, but so I wouldn't necessarily recommend that one, but just some sort of pump. Do your research and sort of work out what's going to be best for you and your needs. But moving on to bathing and changing them, we just liked using the QV bath oil. I didn't start using this till a couple of weeks. She was a couple of weeks old, but it's just really handy because it stops their skin from getting dry, but at the same time you're not putting like too much product or anything on them, and I just really like this one. And then I'd also just recommend getting a big pack of just like little flannels, because obviously they're really handy for when you're bathing them, but also just wiping up any spit or any other mess that they've made. So yeah, you just get like packs of them at Baby Bunting, so these ones come in really handy. Obviously you need nappies, whichever nappies work for you. We like the Huggies ones because we found those to be the most like leak proof. Some kind of cream for their bum. We use the Sudocrem one, that worked for us, it seems. The next recommendation would be some kind of baby bouncer. The one that we have is the Baby Bjorn bouncer, and I highly recommend it. It has been so good. I think we bought it when she was about 2 weeks old. 2 weeks? Younger than 2 weeks actually, and she has used it that whole time, It is awesome if you just like want to put them in it while you're having a shower, or put them in it while you're eating dinner, and you can sort of like use your foot to bounce it. You can like close it down flat, so it's really easy to like transport. I would take it to my parents all the time. I was talking to one of my mum friends and she just got one, and she was saying, why did I not get this when my baby was little? Because it just is such a lifesaver. It's so handy. Obviously you can get cheaper versions, which I'm sure would be equally as good. They do the job. But I really love the Baby Beyond one. Absolute essential for me. And then another essential which I really love is just some sort of baby carrier. I use the ring sling. This is the Wild Bird ring sling. I'll insert a photo of Ruby in it. And I think these are particularly great when they're newborns because they're super soft and they're comfortable for you to wear. Nice just having them like cuddled up close to you, and it's particularly great if your baby does not want to sleep anywhere but on you, but you still want to get a few things done around the house. So yeah, highly recommend these. These ones do take a little bit of getting used to, like a bit of practice, but if you watch a bunch of videos, Wild Bird's great because they've got a lot of videos showing you how to actually use them. So yeah, highly recommend some sort of baby carrier. I really like the ring sling. My last category is like on the go. Now obviously when they're a newborn you do spend a lot of time just at home, but sometimes you do need to get out of the house and go somewhere. So first up, I would recommend a nappy bag that is like a backpack style. Basically just want to be hands-free. You don't want to have like something like over your shoulder. This is one that I got from Baby Bunting. It's JJ Cole is the brand, and I really love it. It's great. It's got lots of compartments. It's got pouches on the side, so I always like put my drink bottle here. Always need your drink bottle with you when you're breastfeeding. So that one, or just some kind of backpack nappy bag. A pram obviously is something that you do need if you want to get out of the house, go for walks. We have the Bugaboo Chameleon 3 Plus. We love it. It's great. I would highly recommend that one. Only thing I have to say about it is that the bit under the pram for storage is a little bit small, but it's really like mobile and it's easy to move around. But that's like the only thing about it, and I would still buy it again. And then when it comes to a car seat, obviously there's so many different options. We have the Britax Safe and Sound Millennia, I think it's called. And we chose that one because it's easy to adjust as they grow. People we talked to had recommended it because they said that's like one of the easiest things. She's just starting to wake up. And when it comes to traveling as well, I would definitely recommend getting like the mirror for the car too, because firstly, at least then you can, when you're driving, you can just like quickly glance up and like see them and make sure that they're okay. But also it really distracts them. It distracts Ruby at least anyway, and she loves just like sitting there in her car seat and looking at herself in the mirror. And this is the last one. It's probably not as essential, but I really like it. It's the Huggies like travel wipes, but it's great because you can actually refill it. It's just, you pull this part apart and you put the wipes in. So, and you can buy the Huggies wipes in bulk, so you're not always just buying like little packets for on the go.
And this is the main essential.
Yeah. Hi, beautiful. You just woke up. You just woke up. Oh, last time you were in a video you were 3 weeks old. Did you know that? There's a mirror over there she's looking at herself in. Oh, gorgeous. So Ruby's 6 months now. And she's a lot bigger than when she was a little newborn, huh? So hopefully I haven't left anything out. I know that has probably been a very long video. I've got a mess all around me now. But yeah, these are all things that we really loved and made our lives so much easier. So if you're pregnant, good luck with it all. Congratulations. Being a mum is just such a fun thing. It's hard, but it is just the best thing ever. And yeah, if you have any questions, leave me a comment down below. I try to link as many of these things as possible as well. And as always, if you enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.